Absolutely. What is the gift in not getting it perfect?
Exactly. When you hit live, there's your doorbell rings. So, welcome everyone to this conversation with the one and only amazing Dr. Sasha.
Yay!
Yay!
I'm the one and only amazing Miss Eena. I want to call you Dr. Eena for some reason. I think you are a doctor in a different way, but yeah, definitely. Who needs
I'm a
titles?
perfect daughter.
Yes, a perfect daughter and a
That
perfect dog.
too. That too. Yeah. Have you ever tried to be the perfect daughter?
Oh, absolutely. So much. Oh my God. I think I've been
Did you
toying with
get
pardon?
did you get the medal?
No. And I stopped bothering about the medal also after a point. I was like, I think I'm having way more fun not being the perfect daughter. I think I even went up to my dad once and I told him, listen, I'm like the most horrible daughter you're ever gonna have. And I was like, I am really bad. And he just looked at me and he was completely confused. And it just changed whatever was going on in that moment. And I turned around and I was like so light. I was like, wow, that just shifted everything for me. It was really, really cool. And since then I've
That
just been
is amazing.
exactly. And since then I've just been like, yeah, I'm okay being bad. I'm okay, like whatever. It's not relevant anymore being perfect. You can keep trying,
Yeah.
but isn't it so much effort?
Yeah, but it's interesting, like in your choice, you could have chosen like what needs, like what's the right choice or what's the wrong choice. Or you just chose what's going to work.
That. Yeah. Yeah, and I find myself doing that more often these days, choosing what's going to work rather than choosing the right or the wrong choices, because that actually works. That's why it's called choosing what will work.
Exactly. I find it interesting that you and I have a class coming up. We are facilitating foundation class, which I'm super excited about in Mumbai and
Yay!
online. But before that, we're doing a call, which is called, it's a one off call, which is called Fucking It Up.
Oh, yeah.
And it's so interesting because I was like, we're totally fucking it up because we have only one person signed up so far. We're definitely, so that's perfect.
Absolutely. I mean, it is definitely teaching us to be absolutely okay with fucking it up and being, but not giving up. Like, there's such a difference in that.
Yeah, yeah, I'm so glad you said that because that's the thing. Because, like, if you actually look at it, fucking it up is not really about like letting everything go downhill and nothing to like work, but it's actually on the other hand, like when you're willing to fuck it up, you have the freedom of choice where you can choose and you can choose again and you can choose again and you can choose again. And it's so interesting. I was looking at this call today, this FB Live. So we asked a bunch of questions and we were like, oh, let's do an FB Live. That would be fun. But one of the things that I was getting was that, you know, how we think that awareness, like once we have it all sorted out, is when we can make the choice. Like the awareness creates choice, but it's actually the other way around. It's the
Yeah.
choice that creates the awareness. When you choose something, you get more awareness, and then you can choose more. Like you choose something, and it sort of opens up doors to like these different things. Not right, not wrong, just different possibilities. And then you go, okay, what's next? And then you
Absolutely.
choose that, and then what's next?
No, totally. And also it kind of is like a doozy because especially like, when we were talking about like what do we call this life and what do we want to invite people to, and when it was like the lie of perfection, it is this lie of perfection that you need to do and get everything right. And you know how they say that it's, if those of you who've probably taken a bars class or you've done some access or you've heard anything in, anything spiritual in the world, you probably have heard of this place of like where there is no right and wrong, right? And I'm actually realizing now how much your rightness is something that sticks you way, way more. I mean, I've known it, but to like get it and to like actually recognize that, wow, I'm not even willing to change. I don't even look at things that I think are right to even consider if there were other possibilities in that area. And I was like, wow, like that's also a place where you just get stuck trying to be perfect in the rightness or you're perfect in being wrong, which I did for a couple of years as well. And that worked out really well.
True.
And so it's just like, when you're actually willing to fuck it, like, wow, I can't even like use words right now. But like when you're willing to fuck things up, the beauty of that is at least you get to experience something you probably haven't before.
That it's the willingness for you to choose something different every single day, every single time. Because it's like, okay, like a lot of like you mentioned spiritual work, but like a lot of times we are told that, oh, what did you learn? Like, you're supposed to learn from your experiences, but that might not be really what actually creates is you choose, it creates awareness, and then you choose again and it creates more awareness, and then you choose again and you become aware of more choices.
Thank you so much for saying that because I just got like super aware of the place where I was like, wow, for so long I tried to learn from all my experiences and I was so stuck in just the stories of my past, of like trying to learn something from them and trying to gain more information of how I could be better or how I could like maybe.
Yeah, constantly feeling fucked up. But that's the thing, right? Like when someone tells you, but what was there what did you learn? Don't you want to like punch them in their face? Like, what? And
I
that's
think
also
now
from that
I'm
space of like destiny, and that not like karma or like whatever, like your choice have consequences. No, your choice creates awareness,
yeah.
and then you
But
have more choice. Isn't that more freeing?
it's freeing to a whole new degree. Like as you talk about this, like my cat is just going nuts. Like she's scratching me, she's trying to get my attention. She's like, "Yes, set free." You're exactly right about what you're talking about. And the moment I acknowledge that, she's calmed down. I was like, "Okay, honey, I
Cool.
got you, girl. I got you. It's fine." And no, this is the case, right? But like what I've also noticed is like, are are people actually looking for that freedom that comes with having like choose and have awareness as opposed to get it all figured out and then figure your life out and then keep figuring it out and then I it's just so it can be very confronting sometimes and it can be I don't think it's brutal, but for some people it is. And I think also that the willingness to actually just be with it till you get to that space of freedom, it can be so transformative because it's so simple. It's not,
Yeah.
yeah, it's not difficult. It actually simplifies everything to its very core and you start living a lot more authentically, like with a lot more authenticity to self, which is something very yeah, it can be, it's different for different people, but for me, I'm like, for me, I can always say that like I've always wanted to, to try to figure out who I am, what I am, and because there were so many points of views and so many judgments that are thrown at you, and you start to believe them at one point. and I'm sure that a lot of people have been there in their lives, and then they want to not be at the effect of the judgment, which I think then goes, the easiest part to that is becoming the perfect version of yourself, or like the better version of yourself, or to keep bettering yourself. I mean, what if you acknowledge that you're already sorted? Like if everyone just acknowledged that they were already sorted, then they could actually have a explore what living would be, which is so different from having a life, or having to like constantly be in that headspace of this isn't working out, how can I get this to happen, and always on edge.
Or like, am I making the right choice? Or like,
Yeah,
I never get to make the right choice, so I might as well not choose. Like, I've never been there or done that at all, or got the t-shirt. But
I'm
there's
sure we,
so many places, like even I'm so grateful for this call because since we've chosen it, like I'm becoming aware of like all those places where I can choose more that I
yeah,
haven't been choosing, or that I've been like, just we're going to let this stay under the carpet for a bit. But it's just your willingness, like you said, like willingness to just be present with it and look at it, and and know that you have choice, or even
yeah,
ask, what choice do I have here? It's
exactly.
like just that willingness to even ask, what choice do I have here, can like catapult you into a totally
Space.
different scenario.
Yeah, completely. And you don't, like, people say, oh, it's always going to be this way, and this is just the way it is, or no, it's not. I mean, that if there are, even if there are like 10 different ways, and this is like on a minimalistic scale, 10 different ways of making a simple cup of coffee, then I'm sure that there are like 10 different other ways of doing everything on a minimalistic
Yeah,
scale.
yeah, I know. It's like like one of the businesses that I have is architecture interior design firm, and we design spaces and homes. And now, like if someone is, and we also like design furniture. So when someone says that nay, this is not possible, like no, this is not possible, I know at least there are three ways that we can do it, three other ways that we can do it. So
Is
then
it?
it's like not about making that person wrong, but going, okay, what are those three ways?
Yeah. No, absolutely. Like, is this something that, like, I wonder if, like, if you guys are on and all, please let us know in the comments if this is something that happens with you all as well. Because we'd really like to
Yeah,
know that we're not alone in this, that, we also know that there are people who are in the same journey in the
you're you're alone, you're the only one,
Oh,
psycho,
no problem.
weirdo.
I'm willing. I'm like, I think there was a point of time where I think, and I feel recently also I just used this line. I think I'm going crazier because I feel like all those walls of what I consider is real, is true. It's all bloody melting. It's all moving. It's all shifting. It's all changing. The earth is moving. There's so many things going on the planet. And all I can think about is like, wow, like where now? Where from here? It really does um, it really does take you out of the tension. And for some people, I'm sure this can put you directly into your tension, right? That's their tension spot, like where it's like, I can't do this if it's not, if it has to be a particular way, it has to be right. That's all that perfection and all of that other stuff. But like this, as you rightly said with this call, like it's been opening up this place of like, wow, if you didn't have to get anything right, you didn't have to get anything wrong, like truly, how much could you play with? Like, I think one of the things that you said, about being like the right daughter, the good daughter, I've been pondering to color my hair red. It just came to me last week. I was like, oh my God, I'm growing my hair out. I wanted to reach my ass. I'll be like, and I want to like maybe paint it from the roots to the tip like a bright red, and just go balls out. And I was just like, I've never done something so outrageous. Like my sister has, that she's gone blonde, and like she experiments with her body a lot, and it works out for her. But I've always been like the good daughter, the daughter who's like, no, I'll be like a bit, I'll at least appear normal. At least my appearance should be normal, because I know everything else about me isn't.
It's
So
outrageous. You're the smart daughter. You're the smart one.
yeah,
You're
and
like,
and
Dress normal and think outrageously.
Absolutely. And then when people find out, oh my God, she looks normal, but damn, what the hell is that? And I'll just be like, oh shit, did I let too much of it out? And then I'll like have to go.
Exactly.
What has your journey sort of been like with this, with not being perfect? You know, how's that played out
I
for you?
have to say that I definitely had the need to be perfect till I realized that it's not working. And actually, uh, you know that always that sense of that never getting it right.
Yeah.
Like you have that sense of that you're being a fraud,
Yeah.
and like you know something else is possible, but you don't. It's like you feel as if that has to be this sort of utopian ideal or like this perfect picture that you need to fit into, and once you reach there, so what crashed all of that for me and completely started melting it was with the realization that there isn't any destination. There's
Yeah.
just like more and more of what you can be. There's just different things that you can choose that you haven't chosen before, and all of it gets you to be on this adventure of being you and creating your life. And that, like, oh my goodness, like the amount of times you'll choose something or say something, like, have you noticed, like, when you say something and you see what that's creating, you're aware of what that choice is creating. And then at that point, if you don't have to like sit and defend it or make it right or make it wrong, you have another choice.
Yeah.
And you can change the track and you can choose something different and you can, like, it's that play. Like it's also like the look, like how we facilitate during classes or while creating. You choose something and you see what that's creating, and then you know that you have more choice, and then you have more choice.
Yeah.
So it's definitely been more freeing to know that I have choice, and then to know that I have choice, but I'm feeling that I don't have choice. I know there's some sort of perfectionism or rightness or something that I'm doing over there that I can let go of now. So it can be so much more easier and more fun.
Yeah.
It's interesting because we think what's making us uncomfortable is that we are not choosing, that well, I said it. So it's like what we think choosing beyond what we've chosen is what makes us uncomfortable. But it's actually once you become aware that you can choose beyond and you don't allow yourself, that's uncomfortable.
Yeah.
It's the
Yes.
not choosing of what you're aware of. That's what is uncomfortable. So it becomes far more easier if you actually choose it and then
Yeah.
see where it takes you.
Yeah.
So I would love to invite everyone who's listening to this and like now in the future, if you join us for the call, that's awesome. We're super excited of where we can go. But it's
$10 call.
also it's a $10 call for a million possibilities. Up to
Yes.
you. Million, zillion, godzillion, one, none. But if you choose this, if you choose this call, which is called fucking it up, if you choose it, what would the energy of your life be like? What would your life be like in 5 years? And if you don't choose it, what would your life be in 5 years? So there's a tool for getting started on
Oh, yeah.
choosing anyway.
Oh, yeah. And I'd also like to just add a bit here for those of you who, because I don't know if it's relevant anymore, but the first time somebody told me that I have choice, I yelled at them and I yelled hard. And I went into
Yeah.
like almost an outrageous fit, which was totally unlike me. And I was just like, how the
Yes.
hell could you say I have choice? Don't you understand my situation? Blah, 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 blah. It was wild. And that person was very calmly going like, yeah, I get it, but you have choice. And that just made me even more angrier.
Boom.
Yeah. And I'm infinitely grateful for that because when I look back at that, I was like, yeah, I couldn't see it back then. But then when I started the journey, and especially I think after doing a bars class and a foundation class, the choice opened up, and I could actually see where I had where I put myself, and this is something we do to ourselves, right? Is where I put myself into this place of no choice. And that's when it started to unravel and go like, oh damn, I should go and apologize to that person because they were aware. They knew that I did have choice and I just wasn't executing it because in my head it felt like I had no choice. And so it really starts to work in a very different way. I don't know who needed to hear that, but hear it and choose for you. Start
Yeah,
anywhere.
because that's how we are sort of like, we a lot of us, and some might be the lucky ones who haven't experienced that you're supposed to choose one ice cream, one dress, one career, one life partner, one and you're like, but I want to have that and that and that and that and that. And like, but there's that country and there's that country and there's that country. It's like a buffet of possibilities. And you're like, but we've worked on ourselves in trying to make that one perfect, right, correct choice. And here's an invitation of like, what if you could have it all?
Yeah,
What would you like to have?
exactly that. What if you could have it all? Yeah.
So
Okay.
what is that? What is it that you require? Yep. What is it that you desire?
Hmm. And it's really funny because when you ask that to most people, and myself included, sometimes you just draw a blank because nobody probably has ever asked you that in your whole life. And when they
And you
ask
haven't
you,
asked yourself ever.
exactly, exactly. And once you actually begin to ask yourself that, maybe one thing will, in the beginning, it might be one thing, or it might be 10 things, or it might be a gazillion things. And we're literally saying, what if you could still have it all, in spite of it being one thing or 10 billion things? The
Yep.
number isn't relevant. Yeah. So, so yeah, I'm excited and I'm so grateful for this conversation and what it has opened up for me also. Just I want to go re-listen to it because there are some really good nuggets in here that have just been spewed around, like like it's just nothing. It's okay.
Eh, normal talk.
No problem. Yes, absolutely. And yeah, we're having the call on the 15th at 8:30 p.m. IST, Indian Standard Time. It's a $10 call. It's I think 745 or
80 some 85 or something.
maybe for what do you call it, for the Indian residents. And we're very excited to have you guys here. We will post the links in the chat. And if you guys need any assistance or you'll want to know more about what we do and all our classes, and the one especially coming up in Mumbai on the 15th, 16th, 17th, and 18th of September, would you guys please feel free to directly message us? We'll be more than happy to respond to your questions and to show you something different.
Yep.
Yeah, yeah.
Just shared the link. So there you go.
Yay. Thank you, Dr. Ina. I love it. It's called Fung It
Click,
Up. It
fung it
sounds
up.
now it sounds Chinese. It's like
Listen, we can't even get fucking right. Oh, did my voice crack there? But there you go.
Yeah,
It
absolutely.
beeps. It beeps me out. Beep, beep, beep. Cool. I'm excited.
Me too.
We're going
Very,
to
very.
have fun. For
Yes.
anyone who wants to hop on and join us in this joyride of having choice, join us.
Join us. Come play. Come play if you're bored, if you're resisting, if you're asking, if you're not asking, just come and play.
Or
And
if
let's
you just don't know what's next, like what do I do? What do I want? What do I want to create? I have no idea.
exactly. Definitely come play. Okay, thank you. Thank you, Ina, for having this
Thank
wonderful
you.
life with me. Bye, guys.